I'm Susan McGinnis with Clean Skies News. Today, Interior Secretary Ken Salazar was on the Hill testifying on his fiscal 2011 budget request, and lawmakers on the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee had questions for him about the administration's support, or actually lack thereof, for the oil and natural gas industry. Clean Skies' Dee Bombani was on Capitol Hill. She has more on that story. Dee.
That's right. Much like the month of March, the budget hearing started out with the lions and ended with the lambs. Before Ken Salazar uttered his opening statement, the committee's ranking member, Lisa Murkowski, leapt right into her concerns that the administration does not value the domestic oil and gas development. President Obama's fiscal 2011 budget request ends nearly $40 billion in tax credits for the oil, gas, and coal sectors. One by one, Republicans and Democrats on the committee took a stab at the administration's position on oil and gas.
And Mr. Secretary, the department's budget proposal also includes a number of fees or royalty increases on the very people who are trying to develop domestic oil and gas fields, to say nothing of the administration's litany of new taxes proposed on the industry. This country needs to retain an oil industry to keep us from being 100% dependent on foreign oil, but by all indications, this budget is seeking to make that industry uneconomical. And I know that some think that you can force America to go green by shutting down domestic oil and gas exploration and operations. Some think that by cutting off funding to the programs that facilitate coal mining, that somehow is going to help too. But just because America produces less energy doesn't mean that we are going to necessarily consume less. In fact, we're probably going to consume significant quantities of oil, of natural gas, coal for a long time to come.
The administration likes to talk about the virtues of natural gas, but it seems to me, Mr. Secretary, that the administration is simultaneously imposing regulations and taxes to drive the industry into the ground. It seems that the right hand is not talking to the left hand. And there are new regulations that seem to me to be burdensome, duplicative. And my question to you is, does this administration believe that all these regulations are actually going to help create jobs and foster increased production and then energy security that our country needs?
But the administration has put forward draconian taxes on an oil and gas industry. It seems very contrary to our stated goals of being more energy sufficient in the United States. In other words, taxing a domestic industry that will cut jobs, increase our dependency on foreign oil, seems contrary to your stated opening statement about relying more on our own ability to produce.
Now, Secretary Salazar says Interior's budget request also calls for a $4 per acre fee for oil and gas companies that do not develop the lands they lease. That, Salazar says, is evidence of the administration's support for the industry.
In 2009, we leased more acres in the offshore, Senator Landrieu, than any other year since 2000. Okay, federally, onshore oil production increased 14% in 2009. Onshore bonus revenues in 2009, these are the bonuses, so this is not where the production is actually taking place. We're at their highest level since 2001. We had onshore acres leased in 2009, I think, in each one of your states, with multiple leases that we issued. And so we continue to move forward with, I think, being supportive of oil and gas development in this country.
Now, Salazar says Interior's $12.2 billion budget request is conservative, a $37 million decrease from its 2010 budget, but heavy on climate change adaptation and renewable energy programs. Susan?
So, Dee, other than the tax credits, what has Interior really done to make these senators so skeptical about the future of oil and natural gas? I mean, Interior still has yet to come out with a 5-year plan for the OCS.
That's right. Well, Senator Lisa Murkowski said that she is concerned about one decision that may be a harbinger of things to come. On February 5th, ConocoPhillips was denied a permit to build a bridge to drill on the first oil and natural gas well in Alaska's National Petroleum Reserve. Well, the fact that that company didn't get that permit worries Murkowski. She wonders, what does this really mean for the rest of the industry? Well, Salazar came back and he said no. we did not deny the permit. It was the Army Corps of Engineers with the help of the Fish and Wildlife Service, but Interior is looking into that, and ConocoPhillips may end up getting that permit. Now, as for the 5-year plan, that Salazar promises is coming this month. As you know, the Interior Department must issue an environmental sensitivity study soon. They missed a deadline in last Friday, but that study is coming, and that's part of the Bush 5-year plan. So this gets a little bit tricky. The Bush 5-year plan ends in 2014, and Salazar told reporters today that his plan would start in 2014. He did not say how much of the Bush plan he would be integrated into the Obama plan.
But we're going to see that 5-year plan sometime during March.
That's right.
Okay, Dee Bombani, thank you. And I'm Susan McGinnis with Clean Skies News.